Today we're talking about energy and happy to share this information with you. As you can see, when we talk about energy, we're talking about items that are more than just one. So this is an example of when you think about energy, you have your protein or your micronutrients. You have a lot of things in here. So when we say energy being a focus today, of course, we think about nutrition. So my nutrition topic is very inclusive. Yes, the focus will be about energy, but what about the calories? What about potassium, calcium? Those are things that are part of what we eat or what we need to make sure that we are getting a balanced system. So if you were to look at this picture, it wouldn't um, the picture wouldn't be able to move, or the things in your body wouldn't be able to move where they're supposed to if we don't have the right balance. So the reason why things can function and move the way they do is because the balance is there. So all the colors, all the elements that we need, when appropriately placed, then they are functioning together, and the combination of that, we get energy to fuel our bodies. So, and what happens when we fuel our body properly? We can enjoy life. And so, how do we do that? To do that, we can first look at what we eat and how can we maximize on those items that we eat. So we have always talked about make sure that half of your plate is vegetables. But how do you do that? To do that, most of the time, we have to make sure we have things that are prepared. You don't have to prepare things yourself. It's okay to buy things, just make sure you buy the right things. So on your plate, if you have a healthy plate, you have natural food, things that you'd buy from a farmer's market, store, that are coming from a farm, not anything that is already pre-packaged, and this is packaged but yet is real food. So that's what you see on this plate. And then you just add a few more things, like you could add, if you have your cilantros, you could have a few vegetables that are already cut up, just to increase the amount of natural food on your plate. You could also add uh, things like shredded carrots, just to make sure that you are having varieties. And that's when we say eat the rainbow. Your colors should be filling your plate. So that's the kind of like a basic. This is all review from before starting out to kind of give you a foundation of where we're going. We have to think in terms of natural colors as a foundation if we are to gain energy. And then to accomplish that, of course, planning is key. We have to plan, uh, make sure, even if you just print out a list that is already pre-prepared, just check off things that you need for the week. Let us know if you need help with that. But, just check off things that you already need for the week to help you as you prepare for your healthy week, your healthy meal. And so, how you do that again? You make sure you have all the components for your plate to make it colorful. We think of macronutrients, protein. Uh, I start with protein because it's a body building for your blocks in your body. But when it comes to energy, you need carbohydrate and you need some fat. And think about those as from natural colors, and also your plate being colorful. So you check off the things that you need for that week. That will be the quickest way to get your energy plan going in advance. Okay, once you check those things off, now you are ready to go shopping and start eating your healthier meals. So imagine that you have a basket from shopping, and that basket is going in your stomach, like into this being your stomach, but hopefully it's not that big. So then you would hopefully put the good stuff to improve your microbiome. Your gut bacteria need to be fed with the real things that will give you your uh, probiotics to be able to function, because if you feed your gut, you are going to be able to fuel that energy in your body. So that's what we teach at wellnessturn.com. And think about the reasons we eat. We eat for so many reasons. Most of the time we eat because food is just a basic need, or sometimes it's because we want to get pressure. But what do we really need to eat for? Like, why do we really eat? Or what drives our food choices? Do we really ever think about energy in a sense that we purposely eat to gain long lasting energy? Because most of the time we eat just because it's an instinct, or sometimes we know that we need energy to function and develop, especially for children. Developmental is the main reason why we eat, and without even thinking about it, even as we are grown up adults, we need food to help um, continue our strength in our bodies as we get older. And eating can evoke emotions, so memories from before, cultural, social significances, and that's why sometimes people see a certain food, they tie that with emotions. And so when we are thinking about eating to thrive, which is and necessary for human survival and for the body to be able to function daily and for a long period of time. Of course, food does bring joy, but even more so, we have to think about not to use food as punishment, for example, for children, because when you associate food with things that are going to be subliminally bringing those memories for kids, then they may grow up thinking like, okay, when I do good, I have to eat something sweet, like a cake, is a reward, which is not really rewarding the body, is putting the body in more danger. So it's good to think about the necessities of eating, which eating does provide the body with vital nutrients and energy to function throughout the day. That's what we want to think about. And without food, we could not even survive for long. So, what do you like? How do you like my half plate? I have always thought about half plate being the basic way of thinking about nutrition. But when you look at a half a plate, that is just white carbohydrates. That's not a good way to go. You could do it once in a while, but not all the time. So it's half a plate vegetables, and then the quarter of that could be meat, and then the other quarter would be starch. But hopefully it's a whole grain starch. A potato would be good, something natural, but not things that are white carbohydrate and processed. All right, so how do you feel at 2 p.m.? Now we are moving into the energy arena. When it's 2 p.m., do you feel like, yeah, I have the energy, I can jump? Or do you feel like you want to cry? Do you have all the emotions? You feel mad, especially when you are busy at work? Do you feel sad? Excuse me. Excuse me there. Do you feel like you need to hit yourself and wake yourself up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? You can feel better if you actually plan for your body to have long lasting energy. You don't have to feel exhausted at 2 p.m. But what takes your energy most of the time is poor diet. When we eat all those white carbohydrates, and sometimes we eat too much of it, just goes in our gut, and then we have bad rest. We lay down, we toss and turn, we can't feel good resting, and we may have lack of exercise. If you don't exercise a lot, that's gonna take away your energy also. And then another thing that could take away our energy is not being able to go outside. So here you see the question saying, what is energy? This person is enjoying the atmosphere, they are playing music, they are fire, things in the nature that we miss. But energy really is to give us excuse me, to give us the ability to do things, simple things like walking, riding a bike, exercising, even sleep, because for us to sleep well, we need energy. Energy is used a lot when we're sleeping. And this picture is to remind us the resistance exercise, because when we talk about exercise, resistance exercise is important. But the simple things like playing a guitar, any movement, we spend a lot of time doing other things than exercising. So what we do with those little times, strengthen exercise, for example, is important, especially as we age. We tend to lose muscles, and so when you do those type of resistance exercise, they will help you to strengthen your body and resist those extra fat that will be sticking out on your body. So you want to do uh, resistance exercise along with walking. Your cardiovascular system needs that extra cardio walking, but as we age, resistance exercise is very important. Okay, and then we also, this side is a little bit um, off, so we move on to the next one. But really, I just wanted to say that yes, you do need energy, and your energy depend on all the natural food you can get. So you see meat on the corner here. This is natural meat, provided that is all looking red. Not a lot of fat, is more lean, or we call lean protein. You have your eggs, fruits, carbohydrate if you have a whole grain bread, all this stuff here. If you are able to eat grains, some rice, especially like brown rice, or other grains like quinoa, for example, which is a full, it provides you with a full protein. So you can, a complete protein, that's what I mean by full protein, complete protein. So you can be able to sustain your body with all this natural food. So this will be a good example of things that you need to eat throughout the day to gain lasting energy. So how much? Usually protein is not as much in terms of when you want to gain energy. You get most of your energy coming from carbohydrate, but the combination of carb, protein, and fat gives you longer lasting energy. So you start with carbohydrate, more than protein, and then fat. So you would say, why is half of my plate veggies if I have to get more energy from carbohydrate? Well, it's because some of those veggies, they do give you carbohydrate. And when you eat fish, you, for example, chicken, you get some fat. So you are still getting some fat from some of the food. Not each food has some components that fulfills the either carbohydrate, protein, or fat. So you don't look at a food like, oh, it's just specifically for just carbohydrate. No, it does have some fat, or it may have some protein. So that's the ratio there. Now, if you need specifics, we can definitely work with you at wellnessturn.com, or you can reach out to any nutritionist or RD. They can assist you. But when you think about your goal, is that you get energy from clean sources to increase your mental alertness, and well as control your weight. So technically I say do not eat to lose weight, but if you eat right, like for example, you can see here on the one side you have a big salad, which is a larder salad, but if you were to cook this and shrink, it would be like almost like nothing. So it's big ball, but it's just nothing. And when you look on the other side, it's smaller, but you have a lot of things to go with which you like. You have some protein, some cheese there, you have some fruits, you have some carbohydrate. So combination of that gives you longer lasting energy versus something that's empty calories. So just because it's salad, it doesn't mean it's enough for your body. So for energy purposes, you need something like this. And if you do that, automatically your body will lose weight. So don't eat for the purpose of losing weight, but more so for what your body needs. And if you think about what your body needs, you can also think about other things that could help you to be added, like you could add it, hemp seed to your smoothie to boost energy, but don't look at the scale, because you may look like you're gaining weight just because you are filling in those nutrients that we're missing, and you are gaining muscles if you exercise, especially with resistance exercise, which is good, but your scale may lie to you. So don't focus on that. So limit the amount of sugar, salt, and saturated fat. Saturated fat comes in these things like this type of a candy. When you look at that, or when you look at all these drinks, even if you make it at home with a lot of syrup and stuff, that's not good. The sugar, the French fries that you may want to eat at 2 p.m. to get that energy kick. Usually, what we use for energy kick is for the minute we eat it. For a few minutes, it's not gonna last for a long time. So we don't want those food because those are not long lasting. But we do want the fuel that is long lasting with real food, like what you are seeing here on this picture, all the colors. And when you are eating something that is full of substance, like the plate in the middle here, it doesn't have to be a lot. It's just a sprinkle of meat with all your veggies and fruits cut up. And so that gives you a good balance. And then you could have a bigger plate of salad. Of course, you could alternate this. You don't have to eat the same thing all over and over. You may have a smoothie. I do say when you make a smoothie with fruits, put a little pinch of salt, not too much, but a little bit, because salt does work with all that potassium that you have from your food, which is good for processing that nutrients in your body. Even if you have high blood pressure, a little salt is still good for you. So compared this plate here and this one, you can see how this is just a little meat and bigger plate. While this one, because you have more meat, you gotta consider the portion is smaller. You don't want to eat so much protein either, especially if you're not exercising. So in conclusion, this is a guide to remember. If you plan in advance by having a specific day to shop or prepare your food, or you can order things that are pre-chopped, that's fine. And then also control your portions, especially before you eat. Know how much you're gonna eat so you don't overeat. Because if you overeat, that can also be too much for your body, and that's not gonna give you good energy if your body is eating, it has so much food to process. Smart choices is always think of grilled or steamed. Such things will give you long-lasting energy, and also plenty vegetables and protein, and vegetables and fruits. More so vegetables than fruits, because veggies don't have a lot of sugar, so that's good. You're gonna get natural sugar from the carbohydrates, especially if you're eating things like potatoes, natural carbohydrate, which is good with fiber. Excellent. Remember to eat mindfully. So eat slow, chew your food, stop when you feel full so you don't overindulge. Okay, so don't forget, staying active and exercising releases energy, especially being outside. Also, remember we get energy from all the activities we do, including cleaning. So, because nature has some components of like what is into our body. When we go outside, we get energy from the sun, smell the flowers, the fruits. That also gives you energy, vibrates your body. So yes, cleaning is good, but go outside and enjoy nature. Vitamin D, naturally so, is very important coming from the sun. And after all, do not become the food police. Please enjoy the process. Don't be overwhelmed with everything. One step at a time. Make one little change at a time. If you eat a full plate of French fries, maybe cut a quarter of it at once and practice that for a week or two before you jump on to making major changes. Don't forget to drink water. Water is always very important to help you process and digest all that food that you just ate, and just to balance your pH. Or water is always in order. So with that, I just want to say thank you. Wellnessturn.com. We wanted to thank you for the opportunity to present to you this nutrition session, and you can visit us at wellnessturn.com anytime. Feel free to join our other sessions in the future. We will be happy to work with you. Thank you.